What's going on, guys? Still here, and well, I mean, I meant to make this video like last Tuesday or Wednesday when the dev server closed, but I've been working back to back all last week, so I didn't really have time to come home and make a video. It actually was hailing / freezing rained pretty much all last week, so as soon as I got out of my first job, I was going over and de-icing aircraft. So yeah, pretty busy last week, but now I'm finally able to kind of chillax here and make this video. I'm gonna try and keep it short and sweet here, but unfortunately probably not going to be so. Anyways, so I just kind of wanted to give my opinion on the Fire and Ice dev server and just a couple of other little thoughts here about the update when it goes live. First off, in the background, I'm playing the M1A2 SEP Tusk with the Tusk kit on one of my custom missions. I can try and upload that to War Thunder Live if you guys are interested in it, and I'll give the whole weather settings and what have you, probably at a later date. But I mean, I'm finally glad that it's in game. I've been waiting for it for a while now. Finally feel like I have a big beefy Abrams. So yeah, and it's got the top round that the other M1A2 has, which is nice. However, I know there's been a little controversy on the Tusk 1 getting nerfed. Now, I'm just going to give a short opinion on this. I don't know everything about this topic or controversy, whatever have you. But I know for a fact that the second generation Tusk, I believe it is, which has almost like a New Mexico-ish, like old like roofing style type shape to it. They look like these little ceramic plates basically, and those I know are supposed to be rated for kinetic protection. However, I never heard that Tusk 1, which is on this Abrams, was rated to like 100 something millimeters of protection it is, or 30 millimeter autocannon protected side, basically, is what it's supposed to offer, I've heard. I thought it was only for RPG protection, like when we put Abrams in like Afghanistan and stuff, you know, during the War on Terror and stuff like that. But again, I never heard of it supposedly being rated to autocannon protection. I thought that was the second generation of Tusk, but I mean, if Gaijin nerfed it, if on the manufacturing website, whoever the manufactured Tusk has stated that it's rated to that, and that's what they say publicly, and that's technically public record of some way, shape, or form. I mean, Gaijin should just go and throw it in there, but if they've done it for gameplay purposes, I kind of understand. However, that would be like them nerfing Relic for balance purposes, but they've kept Relic to be, we know it's meant for, we know the same thing with Contact 5, that it's meant to be for kinetic protection as well as chemical, obviously, but it's meant to help stop kinetic rounds, and yeah, that would just be like them nerfing Relic for no real reason. But again, if Gaijin has the reasons, then they have the reasons and it's for gameplay. Otherwise, I think if it is publicly stated that it is rated to this by the company that made it, then Gaijin should kind of take their word for it. I get they can kind of pick and choose. Gaijin does pick and choose when they want things to be real or not, even with stuff that, you know, if they have hardcore data or not. So I mean, I don't really know what else to give my opinion with on that topic. It's just, I mean, it is what it is, but I'm glad that we got another top Abrams with the top round. I believe they just gave the M1A1HC M82981 or something, which obviously isn't as good as A2, but it's better than the standard M829, which standard M829 is not terrible. When you're fighting all of the Russian tanks with the ERA, I mean, on most chances, I mean, you're still not going to lull pen through a T80 BVM or a T80U, you know, or a T72B3. Like, it's not going to happen. With a driver's port, that's different, but I mean, like, the actual raw, mostly protected areas, it's not going to change anything. But yeah, like, if you guys have understood what I've said recently, especially about volumetric armor and shells, I mean, if Gaijin gave this thing like 100 something millimeters of kinetic protection and you shot this thing on the side, your round would probably vaporize because of volumetric armor and volumetric shells. So it's probably a good thing, but it's also probably a bad thing depending on who you ask. So yeah. Anyways, moving on. So the finished tree, which is kind of the whole big staple of this update next to the flamethrower, tank, and boat for the battle pass, which I'll get to last. But yeah, Finland is mostly pretty much copy paste. I think everything is copy paste. Problem is that there's some times there where copy paste is very unnecessary, and something like the finished tree, which I would argue is necessary copy paste, is kind of conflated together. Now, I feel like they probably could have gone without like a finished T-34 or something like that, and they could have just had like they could have just added the finished 2A4 and 2A6 and maybe the T-72 as like a premium or something. I mean, that would be fine. But who knows what Gaijin's plans are for the Swedish tree in the future. They might make it a proper Scandinavian themed tech tree. Although Finland isn't technically Scandinavian. I'm not sure. I don't want to offend anyone from that northern, the northern part of Europe there. But I mean, I digress. It is what it is. I feel like they could have, again, like sprinkled stuff throughout the tech tree. Like the 2A6 could have been with the STRV 122s, but it's whatever. It's just something like the South African line is a lot more native vehicles. I know they have Centurions and stuff, but like they have like the Oliphant, like the specific variant that's upgraded and stuff, where like their whole subtree kind of makes sense in a way. It's all complementary to the British tree. None of it is copy paste, like in it just, you know what I mean? There is copy paste, but it makes more sense. It like stands out more as a tech tree in with what British has, or what the British have. But the Finnish tree just is kind of weird. But I mean, that's the attraction of Finland, is that they get best of both worlds, really. I don't really want to rag on too much about copy paste. I can make a separate video about that in the future. But the last thing here I want to get to is the Battle Pass, which features the A1H Skyraider, the Churchill Crocodile, and I think it's LCS something Zippo. It's a flame boat from Vietnam. That's what it is. I think I called it like a year ago or 2 years ago. It's probably like a year ago, that if they added flamethrowers in the game, they were going to model it weird, and that's what they did. They modeled like each flame pixel is like an actual bullet, and against ships right now, the flamethrowers seem cracked. At least when people took the Churchill Crocodile's flamethrower and like weird like user missions and stuff. I'm sure the Zippo boat would probably have the same thing. But it's just, they're kind of wonky. I don't know. I feel like the Churchill's going to be it's going to be fun. It's an extra Churchill Mark 7 or whatever. But I don't know if that flamethrower is going to be super useful. I'm glad that they added that instead of something like the Sherman Crocodile, which has a coaxial flamethrower, which is on the turret. I mean, it can't get better than that. So, and there's even Cold War tanks like the T-55 and stuff that get flamethrowers. So in the future, I'm sure we'll see more of those. But for now, it was good that they could test it out with something like the Churchill, which isn't super maneuverable or fast. The boat, I don't know how useful that's going to be, considering it might have to get pretty damn close. It is a river boat. It's meant to torch the sides of a river. I don't know. The last thing, obviously, is the A1H Skyraider, which I did a project on the Skyraider back when I was in an aviation technology course during high school at a trade school. And it was a pretty fun project to make. I was really proud of the work that I did on it. And I included the toilet bomb in that project, which everyone found pretty funny. And I'm glad that it's being put in game for the meme, so we can quite literally shit on our enemies. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm glad that it's in game. Kind of mad that it's a battle pass vehicle, because it was a pretty actively used variant of the Skyraider, perhaps the most used variant of the Skyraider. So it seems kind of weird to me, but I guess it's fine. I mean, it is what it is. I'm definitely getting it though. I wanted to make a video on it on the dev server, but I never got a test drive for it, which makes me kind of mad. But I'm sure we'll get it pretty soon here, considering that today they released the development block for the battle pass, and they said it was gonna arrive on Thursday of this week. So I am assuming that the update is also, I don't know that for sure, but is also arriving on Thursday. Could be wrong. They could add it early. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they're testing out flame tanks and boats through a battle pass. So it's interesting, and it incentivizes people to play the battle pass. The first 2 battle passes were pretty interesting. The Object 248 I got, that thing was really fun. I like that battle pass a lot because it was pretty interesting. I mean, it's basically an IS-1 with a insane reload with a 100 mil, but it is what it is. Gaijin, I think, hopefully is getting better with their battle pass selection, but I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if that really kind of gives anybody kind of closure on the dev server. Again, I'm sorry that I was late to this, but I mean, it is what it is with work last week. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that I have to say on the dev server. I assume that the update is coming out Thursday because the battle pass is coming out Thursday, so stay tuned. I probably won't stream until the weekend, however. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching. If you guys like what I do and my opinions on things, check out my podcast, my Salty Platoon podcast. I have a whole playlist of it on my channel. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe, drop a like if you want, and leave a comment and let me know what you guys think. So yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. As always, I'm Steel Wolf, and I'll see you guys next time.